Okay, hi, and welcome to another installment of your President's Message. I'm Mindy Gotting, your NAPO president, and I'm really excited today. Of course, we are here in February, and I wanted to, before I bring my guest on today, I know you're all dying to know who it is, but I wanted to call your attention to a new feature that's included in the NAPO To Do now. So we have this new feature, it's called Success Strategies. And these are small, bite sized tips and best practices that will help you expand your business, improve your effectiveness across different communities, and foster connections with those whom you serve and employ. So take a look and make sure that you catch those. They're going to be quick little bites. And thank you so much to the team of experts behind the scenes who work to contribute to this year's strategies to share with you. So without further ado, I'm excited to introduce my guest today. My guest is actually a member of our NAPO staff, and it's not often that we get an opportunity to talk to these worker bees that are so busy behind the scenes serving NAPO. But today I'd like to welcome Jill Tichy to this show. I guess this is a show now. Welcome, Jill. We're super excited to have you here. Why don't you quickly just introduce yourself and explain your role within NAPO?
Yeah, hi. I'm excited to be here. Jill Tishy. I'm the director of events, but the summit event planner. So I manage everything from start to finish in collaboration with the committee and committee chairs of everything logistics from start to finish with the summit for this year and years going forward.
And in case you didn't guess from that description that Jill just gave us, she has a really big job. Very big job. She'll be attending a board meeting going over different hotel specs when we're evaluating the possible conference destinations for years to come. And then the very following week, she'll be in a conversation about the keynote programs for the upcoming summit. So she's got a lot on her plate, juggling a lot as always. So Jill, tell us more about you. So what was your background before coming into the team to work with NAPO, and how does your focus align with NAPO's mission and our strategies for the future?
Yeah. So a while back, I actually started at a private equity firm in marketing, and they acquired an association, the Category Management Association, and they asked to start running their annual conferences, and I just started loving the planning side. So I got my CMP, and after 3 years of doing that, I moved to the group that we're with NAPO now. Spent about 4 years as the event manager, and then became director about 2 years ago. So my focus also aligns with NAPO's mission and values. Just working closely with volunteers, I think that's been a pedestal of how I like to work with volunteers over the past couple of years, just to make sure their vision is portrayed well and the way that members want and they want to see the organization. And I think as for those who have done planning in the past, you have to be majorly organized and forward thinking. So I feel like my skills just align with that perfectly.
Wow. And CMP, for those of you who aren't aware, that's certified meeting planner. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. And NAPO's volunteers are uniquely devoted. Would you agree? We're
Yeah.
all in.
All in. All in.
Wonderful. So, how would you describe Summit to someone who's never attended before?
Yeah. So my experience as NAPO Summit is just highly engaging and a fun environment. You can take your time and sit, or you can just be on the go. There's always things for people to do. Summit attendees, I've noticed, are passionate about their jobs and energized to learn more about their colleagues. So I think it's just a great environment to network in. And there really is something for everyone. And I know Summit Committee is working hard to make sure there's something for everyone, because we're just such a welcoming community is what I've noticed.
And a lot of innovation this year. That was one thing that really struck me. I mean, I've been a part of NAPO for 20 years now, and I've attended something like 18. This will probably be my 18th annual event. And there are brand new offerings on the table this year that we've never had. It's really exciting.
Yes, there's tons of them, and I'm excited to get them out there and people to experience them, and maybe keep a couple of them keep like over a couple of years. So yeah.
Hmm. So, a lot of people I think who are watching don't really know all that goes into planning this type of event. So, can you give us some more information about the details of like what's been happening behind the scenes?
Yeah, how long do we have? No. Absolutely. So we are planning the baseline components of the event, the food and beverage selections, the timing, the schedule flow. Really, if you think about our agenda, we're thinking day before, day after, every minute, every day. What's the attendee experience? Where should people be? What should they be expecting? How do we communicate with them? So really the schedule flow is a huge component of our job, and then all of the nitty gritty to AV audiovisual components. You only notice it when it goes wrong, but there's a lot of AV components that take up a lot of our time, along with working with committee and their vision. They do a great job with working on content and speakers, and we kind of help intermix with the speaker communications, making sure that we have all their materials, and really everything in between. Packing, shipping, ordering, all the elements of a conference you can think of, and then as you mentioned before, site selections for future years, and just more details for future NAPO summits.
And I don't think a lot of people realize because when we started working with our management company in January of 2023, and to plan, get involved, and then plan an event for spring of 2024, that's actually a very compressed timeline. Like you all did not have your standard runway that you typically would for an annual event of this caliber.
Yes, we usually 2 years is usually how we would prefer. But I think I was on site at last year's summit, so it's good to see everything and give me kind of a background. But yeah, it does take some time to one like plan the conference, but get to know the people that you're working with, how they work best, really figure out who's doing what. So it's been a ride so far.
So, how has your experience been working with NAPO, since this is your first time with us?
Yeah, I'll say eye opening. I feel like I'm growing with NAPO, and I'm learning so much along the way. I mentioned earlier, this is a very passionate group who truly cares about their work. So that's what's exciting to be around, is that energy and that passion.
I love that. So, outside of the educational sessions, which are always top notch and a super big draw, of course, what's something that you feel is going to be a huge hit with our attendees this year at Summit?
The puppies. We we have received a sponsor this year for what we call a puppy corner, or a pause for a break. That we will either feature puppies to adopt or a few dogs from a local dog therapy program. That will be in the exhibit hall during some of the breaks during the conference. Usually a huge hit at conferences. Outside of that, I just think we have great content in our educational track sessions. So I think people will just be energized from those sessions. But I think that will be a big hit.
I remember the first time this came up in the boardroom, and somebody was like, "What is the puppy corner?" And the board liaison was like, "It's puppies in a corner."
Someone volunteered. They're like, "Oh, I'll handle managing the puppies."
Yeah.
No, no, I'll take that one.
Oh, I love it. So Jill, thank you so much for being with us today. I'm just going to give you the opportunity to give us a little more insight into you, for all of our attendees and everyone who's watching today. What is something unique or unusual that you want NAPO's members to know about you as you're working for us behind the scenes?
Yeah, I'm open to all sorts of feedback. I think anything to make our team better and NAPO improve over the years, I'm open to feedback. Something unique about me is I coach girls basketball on the side. I coached college for about 6 years and just switched over to high school this year. Definitely keeps me on my toes, keeps me busy on top of planning, but Love engaging with the girls as I do attendees on site. And I think just being a team player has really kind of combined those two roles, those two jobs that I have very well.
Amazing. Okay, so let's give everybody one more reminder because these dates are coming up soon. So our annual conference, it's the NAPO Summit 2024, is going to be held in Long Beach, California on April 3rd through the 6th this year. And Jill, when does the early bird close?
February 21st.
February 21st. So that date is right around the corner. Make sure that you get your registration in before those prices go up. And Jill, thank you so much for all the amazing work you've been doing on NAPO's behalf. We are all really excited about the summit, and we look forward to seeing you again in Long Beach.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Excited to see everyone there.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next month. Thanks for your time and attention. I'm, as always, Mindy Gotting, your NAPO president.